What is going on, everyone? The Houston Texans just defeated the Jacksonville Jaguars 24-20. They moved to 3-1 on the season. And man, this was an ugly win, but a win nonetheless. We're going to break this down, talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. Let me know how you feel in the comments after today's victory. My name is Ruben Calvillo. This is the 713 Houston Sportcast, where I drop daily Houston Texans content. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. This episode was brought to you and powered by BetUS. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the good. Quarterback CJ Stroud had himself a fantastic day. He was 27 of 40, 345 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a quarterback rating of 110.9. You saw CJ Stroud on the game-winning drive, just cold as ice off of a play-action pass. Finds running back Dare Ogunbowale in the end zone on the run. CJ Stroud was successful despite multiple penalties from this Houston Texan offense. Once again, the Houston Texans had double-digit penalties called against them. But with CJ Stroud, you see the development. You see the maturity. There is no sophomore slump with CJ Stroud. He is the franchise quarterback for this Houston Texans team, and he is only going to get better, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot wait for the future of CJ Stroud. Another good. Nico Collins might be one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. 12 receptions, 151 yards, 1 touchdown. He was averaging 12 yards a catch whenever a big play needed to happen through the air. It went to Nico Collins. How many times have you heard me say that this season? Nico Collins is the #1 guy for the Houston Texans. Besides CJ Stroud, he's been the best offensive player for the Houston Texans, and he's only going to get better. Right now, he leads the league in receiving yards with 489. I did not think we were going to get this from Nico Collins. I'm being 100% honest with you. He is on pace to shatter some records. And man, he is just an offensive unit. He is a weapon. He's a playmaker. And the connection of him and CJ Stroud is just money. When CJ Stroud said Nico Collins is our modern day Andre Johnson, I gave them a pfft. But it looks like that. He is the #1 guy. He can tear up an NFL defense. Nico Collins was destroying the Jacksonville Jaguars secondary. Have yourself a day. Number 12, you are becoming one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Another good. Running back Dare Ogunbowale, look on the stat sheet, it's not going to pop out. He only rushed the ball 2 times for 7 yards, but through the air, 4 receptions for 47 yards, 1 touchdown. His longest was 31, which came off of a 3rd and 30 situation. For Dare to be able to make 3 Jaguars miss, get the first down and a couple of more, saving the Houston offense drive, saving their day. And then later on in the 4th quarter, play action pass, CJ Stroud finds him in the end zone to put the Houston Texans ahead 23-20. It wasn't a big day for him stat-wise, but Dare had such an impactful day today. This is why you keep him on your team. Remember last year in the Tampa Bay game, kicked the 30-yard field goal. You don't win that game if it's not for Dare. You don't win this game if it's not for Dare. I want to commend our rookie Kalen Bullock because he showed a lot of effort in that moment where the Jags running back was about to make it to the end zone. Kalen Bullock forces him out of bounds, saves a touchdown, and who knows what would have happened if Kalen Bullock doesn't do that too. So shout out to the rookie. There was a lot of good today, guys. When you look at the defensive side of the ball, some goods. I love Azeez Al-Shaair in the run game. I love our defensive tackles for Lorenzo Fatukasi. You know, he had the big play on 4th and 1, and what an impact he has had for this Houston Texans front 7. Jalen Petrie had his moments today. Derek Stingley Don't throw it his way because he's going to make something happen. Once again, had an interception taken away from him. That's 2 in the past 2 weeks. And like I said, Kalen Bullock was just fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, these were the goods to me for this Houston Texans game. Guys, once again, this Houston Texan offensive line continues to hurt the offense. Now, pass blocking wise, they had a good day. CJ Stroud was only sacked twice. There were some moments in the run game. Cam Akers was able to average 4 yards a carry. J.J. Taylor, 3 yards a carry. But it's the consistent penalties. Multiple holding calls on Laramie Tunsil. A illegal man downfield on Kenyon Green. I think he got flagged for that 2 or 3 times. A false start on Shaq Mason. They just continue to hurt this offense, and you saw multiple times whenever we were in Jaguars territory, these penalties would pop up. Every time, guys, really, every time a play was whistled dead, I immediately looked to the bottom of the screen and was just praying I didn't see anything yellow pop up. That's how bad it's been. Once again, the Houston Texans had double-digit penalties. They had double-digit penalties last week against Minnesota and double-digit penalties the week before against the Chicago Bears. So this is where I ask you guys, when do we start looking at DeMeco Ryans and saying, when are you going to fix this? How are you going to fix this? Because this is an issue. 30 penalties in 3 games. I have to look at coaching. It needs to get fixed. And like DeMeco Ryan said post-game, we can be a really good football team when we don't get in our way. I absolutely believe that. Like Harley said on Bleach Report, there was a lot of meat on the bone left today. And if the Houston Texans don't get these penalties situated, we're not going to win against the Buffalo Bills. We're not going to win against the teams like Kansas City, Baltimore, Detroit, because you can't expect to walk out with the dub and have double-digit penalties. Majority of them being on the offensive side, on the offensive line, just killing your drives. I know we are talking about a victory here, guys, but just because we won the game, I'm not going to ignore the fact that it was a laundry day out there for the Houston Texans offensive line. I didn't have really a lot of issues with the Houston Texans defense. I mean, when you look at the 20 points, if you take off the muff punt, it's 13-24 or it's 13-27. I thought the Houston Texans defense were able to put a lot of pressure on Trevor Lawrence, even though they only sacked him 1 time. No sacks from Will Anderson Jr., no sacks from Danielle Hunter. The lonely sack came from Eric Murray. Tank Bigsby, 90 yards on the ground. Travis Etienne, 50 yards on the ground. That's 12.9 yards a carry for Bigsby, 4.5 yards a carry for Travis Etienne. That has to get better. Brian Thomas Jr. almost ruined your day. 6 receptions for 86 yards, a tutty. Christian Kirk, 7 receptions, 61 yards, and a touchdown. Yes, this Houston Texans defense was tested. They had their bend don't break moments, but like I said with the Texans about leaving meat on the bone, the Jacksonville Jaguars left some meat on the bone. There's 14 points that are left out there because Trevor Lawrence just couldn't hit the wide receiver. When it came down to it, the Houston Texans defense did step up, did make it hard for Trevor Lawrence to move the ball. And at the end of the game, they took over, right? You expect an 0-3 team to, kind of fall into their trend, fall into their consistency, and that's just being a bad football organization. But other than that, guys, I also want to shout out Stephon Diggs. A great heads-up play on the design pass/run, but just taking it up the middle and great block by Blake Stover. The Houston Texans are 3-1. I am satisfied, but I'm not overly happy we won this game the way we won this game. I'm always going to be satisfied with the W. But the Houston Texans need to clean this up. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Am I being too critical? Should I be happy that we won? For more Houston Texans content, you guys know what to do. Feel free to follow me for more. Go Houston. Have a very blessed day.